Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Chit Chat Show. If you're new here, my name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking every day and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my co-host Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. We have a great show for you today. We are going to be covering all sorts of topics from the 4080 12 gigabyte, maybe becoming the 4070 Ti, direct storage, new encoders. I don't know if that's a thing. Side panel displays, Microsoft losing money on Xboxes, and a McDonald's gaming chair. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be covering for you today. And if you're watching on the rebroadcast, there should be show notes or timestamps, I should say, down in the comments.
Wow.
Wow. That's a
Good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, apparently I was.
You came in with your coffee. There's three seconds before the show was going to start. You walked in the door with your coffee and a cookie.
I was on time.
You were on time.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you actually get a coffee?
Yeah, I made a fresh coffee. So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone out there with coffee. Come join along.
My son stole the last cup of coffee, so I quickly had to brew another pot here. So, there is actually coffee in there.
That sounds like your household, though. You live in a household of coffee drinkers, so.
Well, everybody drinks coffee, and everybody wants their travel mug to go to school, and we burn through a lot of coffee. So, we still use the old-fashioned coffee maker where you put the water and the grinds in, because if we were using pods, we'd go through 100 of them a day.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
It's just not efficient. I'd have to work all night at McDonald's to pay for all those.
Is that a nod to our article coming up?
It is a nod to our article coming up. So, there's a lot of coffee being drunk. Actually, though, I did win a free week of coffee this week. So
really? How'd you do that?
At Tim Hortons. Yes.
Well, you did.
Yeah, this is the third time I've won this. I won it twice at the end of last year for a full week of coffee. And this week I have free coffee at Tim Hortons. You pick your hockey players who's going to score in the NHL game. And then if you get 7 days straight, you get free coffee for a week. So
really?
Yes.
So like as much coffee as you want?
No, one a day.
Oh. I thought you just
otherwise I'd be doing the coffee run in the morning, coming in with coffee for everyone.
For your whole family.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. Yeah, it was a good weekend, and yeah, it was good. It's good. Got some good rest and feeling good.
Good. Yeah, it snowed quite a bit here over the weekend, so we did a lot of shoveling on the weekend and yesterday. But
sounds like Kelowna.
Sounds
like of course out there. Yeah.
So if you're new here to the Tech Chit Chat Show, Stephen and I like to drink coffee and talk about tech. And we like doing that at coffee shops. And then we decided, hey, why don't we bring that to you guys? So make sure you join in the conversation, say hello in the comments. And we like to incorporate your comments and feedback into the show as well. So, should we dive right into it? I guess we chit-chatted for a few minutes here.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's start out. This is an interesting article. And I'm going to start this out by saying this is still a rumor, but I think it's a reputable rumor, we'll call it.
And a reasonable, even if it wasn't a rumor, it's still a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, exactly. So not too long ago, the 4080 12 gigabyte GPU kind of got under some fire, and I guess they officially cancel it, I think.
I guess so. I didn't follow through with exactly, but as I was talking to you before the show about was, I'd be pretty hard pressed to believe that they would just full out cancel the whole thing in general if AIB board partners have already produced boards.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
So we're talking about the 12 gigabyte version, and apparently is it a 16 gigabyte version as well?
Yeah.
So the 12 gigabyte version. Apparently, there's rumors that it's going to be rebranded as the 4070 Ti, which is kind of interesting because the article here that we have talks about how the TI is kind of something that typically comes out after, say, a 4070, not simultaneously or potentially before. So there's a lot of rumors that the 4070 Ti will be what used to be the 4080 12 gigabyte.
Yeah. And this is a good move, Nvidia, because I agree that it was a bad move from the start to have because on the box there is apparently about a 30% performance difference between the 4080 12 gigabyte model and the 4080 16 gigabyte model. They're not the same card. So if somebody the criticism was that somebody thinking they're getting a 4080 are not actually getting a 4080 like with the 16 gigabyte. They're two different they're two different boards. The 4080 16 gigabyte model is actually on what's called the AD103 board, and what was supposed to be the 12 gigabyte model was actually on a different AD104 board. It's a totally different board. It's not the same.
It's the same board as the actual 4070 is supposed to use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So you have that list there. Yeah. That's why there was fair criticism, and what people are expecting, and just from marketing and feeling ripped off. And you go to the store and you're like, I don't need 16 gigabytes of RAM, but you're actually getting a significantly slower card.
I don't actually like when companies put two different things under the same name.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I'm okay with Xbox Series S and X, but I don't like when it's the RTX 4080 and then in small print 12 gig or 16 gig, right?
I've brought it up on the show before, but back in the day when I needed to do development for iPhone, and I bought an iPod Touch as a cheap way to get into it for developing for mobile.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a third generation iPod Touch, only to learn later that because I got the 8 gigabyte model, it actually was second generation hardware repackaged as third generation. As a developer, I was like, no, I didn't need the high capacity memory. I just needed a device to test on. And I was left with a second generation iPod Touch. And even though I was marketed to me as a the packaging said third generation, but when you check the model on that, it's second generation hardware. I felt really ripped off.
Yeah.
And so, and it limited my uses because that device got deprecated faster. It became obsolete faster and not supported as longer. So it cut out how long I could use that for development.
Yeah. No,
so I felt cheated.
And that's why I do like when they put a TI at the end, it's clear that a 4070 and a 4070 Ti are different.
Yeah.
Versus 4080 in two different sizes type of thing. So, and
the Super is a nice brand too, because the Super is not usually as high, as big of a change as the Ti.
Yeah, the Super is the same thing. At least it distinguishes between two different models. So, I mean, I know that's a little bit off tangent of what we're looking for here, but I think you're right. That's why there was a lot of outcry about the 4080.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good move. If this is actually happening, that it's becoming the 4070 Ti, I think it's a good move for them. So, and it fits better in with what the product actually is. So,
I think they've had to be careful with, depending on how far along in production they are with, again, board partners and other like MSI and Asus. How far along are they? How much is it going to cost was packaging already printed? Was there already things being done, right? So they need to be careful and not offend. So it would almost be better to offend buyers more than the makers of the cards potentially.
Well, you can take just a red Sharpie like our
like your thumbnail,
or like the thumbnail, and just cross it out, or a sticker and put it over there.
Yeah, just put a sticker over the 4080, 47 Ti.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard of that with other products back in the day on PC gaming boxes, that they would cover stuff with the sticker, and you could like take it off and find the original intent.
Well, the one that bugs me when they do that is you go to a store to buy something and there's like 5 stickers stacked deep for the price on the product. Yeah. And then if you look, you actually buy it and you start looking at the stickers, it used to be cheaper and they just kept upping the price. Rather than picking them off, they're putting more expensive stickers on top. So Yeah, that's the 4070 Ti. So we'll see what happens there. I think, I believe the original 4070 is supposed to be coming out early next year, so in 2023. So we'll see what happens there.
And
We'll keep an eye on that.
I know it's not the main topic, but the cards are pricey, man. They're pricey.
They are, yeah.
So
yeah,
just want to throw it in there.
So I did just order Intel Arc A770.
Yeah. What did you pay for it?
Well, they had 7 in stock online, so I didn't buy 7. I bought one of them. It was $479.
So I bought all of them.
$479 Canadian. So I don't know
That's
if that
not
works
bad.
out to like $350 American for that.
That's a lot cheaper than the 4070 Ti pricing coming out and all that. So
well, that's the 16 gig version, and it's supposed to come tomorrow, so we'll see.
Right.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how it performs against the 3060 that I'm using right now.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
More to come potentially on that in future episodes. All right, let's jump over to this. Microsoft DirectStorage 1.1 now available for AMD, Intel, and Nvidia ready. Is that what it means?
Nvidia ready? I guess so. I'm not sure what the Nvidia ready is, but maybe it's their drivers or something. Yeah, so Ken, tell me all about DirectStorage from Microsoft.
Well, it's faster.
I'm laughing because I told Ken, I said I'd take the lead on this one because it's more up my alley. But
you basically told me not to read the article. That's basically what you told me.
I was afraid you get scared and run away. To be fair, I don't understand everything going on, but I think a bit of it.
I guess what I'll read from the screen. Super fast GPU decompression is the greatest advance here.
Ooh. Okay, so there was the DirectStorage 1.0 that came out, and if I'm understanding correctly, that had to do more with improving performance from like NVMe to RAM to like CPU, the CPU handling of loading in like textures and stuff like that if you're playing a game. Okay. And apparently that improved performance by like up to 40%, which is nice, but not the full jump that we're expecting from the next generation of this technology. So the DirectStorage 1.1 has come, which has now added support for decompression on the GPU, and which is now with, I think it was Microsoft showed a test of it could be up to close to like 3 times faster than even DirectStorage 1.0. So this is now the next generation bump that people have been looking for.
The article here is talking about as much as 40% accelerated game loading, depending on the game and the PC hardware configuration.
Yeah, so that was, but I think that might have been talking about 1.0. That might have been talking about the one DirectStorage 1.0. Which came out.
40, no, okay. Well, this says 1.1.
Yeah, so but later in the article, yeah, it's a little hard to distinguish. So regardless, this seems to be up to 3 times faster than the 1.1 version of this is up to 3 times faster than the 1.0 version. So in the example from Microsoft, the 1.0 had a bandwidth of about 2.4 gigabytes per second, where the 1.1 version has like over 7 gigabytes of data transfer per second. So the way that I can think of it is if you had like an 8 gigabyte video card with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, this technology could load your whole VRAM in like a second, like just over a second, basically, like 1.2 seconds. You have
it's right here. So 7.88 gigabytes per second to 21.67 gigabytes per second, and that's using an Intel i9-12900K CPU and an ARC A770 16 gigabyte GPU. Ooh.
Well, and so that's with this technology, you need to have a GPU that's on DirectX 12 and that supports shader model 6.0. So you're not going to be able to take out your old GTX 580 and have this work or whatever. You need to have like a modern GPU that will be able to support the API. But if you do, this is the same stuff that's made its way into like the Xbox, the latest Xboxes, and the PS5. This was kind of a big deal when they were coming out. because it increases like the loading time of games by like a lot, and it allows for when you have like open world games and you're loading in all these textures and assets on the fly, it just allows you to more smoothly do that. It takes strain off the CPU, does it much faster than the GPU. It's cool tech, because even if your GPU doesn't support it, it seems like there's improved parallel processing even on CPUs. Like it seems to still improve, I think, CPU needs when that happens if your GPU doesn't support it. So it seems like there's still a win there. But if you have a modern GPU with a modern NVMe storage and motherboard and all that, it seems to be the way to go for gaming in the future.
Cool. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of unfolds going forward, and there'll probably be more testing that we see on the speeds and stuff there. So cool. Kind of along the same lines is the Nvidia AV1 encoder in FFmpeg. Now I'm just saying a whole bunch of letters there. Yeah. So there's the popular AV1 video codec is now available to be used in the OBS Studio. Do you want to take this one as well?
Yeah. This seems like a big deal. So the video encoders and decoders are kind of a big deal. These are the kind of things that are, if you're watching YouTube and you're watching stuff on Twitch, you're using OBS and you're streaming. If you're streaming games, you need to be kind of aware of. You should be aware of like the codec you're using. The most popular one has been H.264, which has been around for quite a while. There was a newer one that was a higher quality and better compression and stuff, which was HEVC or H.265. But as we were talking before, we actually had to buy licenses through the Windows Store to actually use that codec.
I'm trying to think what it was. Certain modes, when I recorded on my GoPro, I believe it was, all of a sudden I couldn't, when I say mode, certain resolutions and frame rates all of a sudden would encode differently. Right. And I couldn't actually watch them on my PC. So I had to buy the HEVC video extension from the Microsoft Store, and that enabled me to do that. And I think it was $1 or $2, but because it's not open source, you had to pay for it.
Do you think that's why it has so many 1-star votes on there? People just being angry that they have to buy a
Well, that's just it. It's a 2.3 star on average, which is really low, but it works really well to allow you to use that on your PC. But you were saying to me H.264, which I actually still use a fair bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's probably still like the biggest used codec at the moment, I would imagine.
That was included with Windows?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I've never paid for it.
Yeah. So. I don't know how the licensing worked for that. I don't know. But I just know if you have like a modern Windows, probably Mac or whatever system, probably comes with. I don't know how that works, to be honest.
Yeah. Regardless, back to the AV1 encoder. So it's supposed to have better quality and a lower bit rate over H.265. So this allows for I guess you can get higher quality in with less space being taken up and being able to transfer data quicker. So
but the problem is having it supported by technology like OBS and different platforms to actually use it. That's the struggle. Now, now I don't recall if AV1 like what the licensing is on AV1. Was it?
It says open source.
It is okay, so that's a big deal.
Royalty free. That's kind of
that's different.
That's why the popularity is growing, because it's royalty free. Yeah.
Okay, so royalty free. So it's probably gonna be
not open source, but royalty free.
Right, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's headache free. So there's a fee, but you're not dealing with that. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah. So the uptake. So having this, it does sound like it's gonna like a good thing for decoding and encoding. Now, so having software support, it's one thing, but also having your GPUs and stuff supported natively is a big deal. It wasn't until the 2000 series RTX cards from Nvidia that this was supported for decoding.
Okay.
Right. So those have been around a while, but if you're on like a 10,000, like a 1000 series card or 900, those generation of Nvidia cards, you're just not going to have it in the hardware. And it wasn't until, from what I can tell, only the latest 4000 series have hardware decoding support. So decoding support is just new with the recent 4000 series launch of Nvidia.
So basically just your 4090s at this point.
For encoding, yeah. So don't go try using this for your streaming unless you have a 4000 series card.
As long as your 4090 didn't burn down.
Yeah. Don't stream too fast, too hard, too hot. Yeah. I want to say also, I mentioned YouTube encoding, decoding. YouTube has like the VP9. I'm a little confused. They have like a VP9, which I think is an open source thing. VP8, VP9. That's another codec going.
The interesting thing about YouTube, and I'm not sure what the codec is, but if you upload, I think in 1440p or higher, you get the better codec.
Yeah, I think that's the VP9, but I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. I can't remember which one was the.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, because we were experimenting and found that if you do 1440p and higher, you would get the higher quality codec. So which should make your video stream on YouTube actually seem more clear and sharper overall, and it give a higher quality over other channels that upload at lower quality. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this AV1 does, like if it just becomes more prevalent.
I think it will with time, but the hardware support's not there yet on a mass scale, but I think it will with time.
Yeah. So cool. Now the next one is kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is your lead now. Now you take over.
This is my lead. Okay. So we haven't had this debate this morning if it's ASRock or ASRock. I'll go with ASRock because I've heard both.
I'm going with ASRock.
I think people say ASRock if they don't know if it's ASRock. Okay.
Did you say Linus though? Linus Tech Tips was calling it ASRock. He's saying he doesn't know anything.
Oh, well, now I'm second guessing myself on that.
Because of Linus?
No, whether he said that or not.
Oh, okay.
So, well, if you're watching, Linus, tell us what it is. We're not sure.
Well, it probably could be ASRock, and just for those unaware out there, Nvidia even calls the TI, they call it a TI.
Okay.
So people don't call it that. So take your pick.
All right. So ASRock side panel turns your case into a secondary display. So if you're needing a secondary display, you might be in luck, but there are some caveats to it. So you can see it's a little display. It's like a laptop display that fits under the glass on the side panel of your PC. Right. And it's basically a laptop display where you can actually have your hardware information on there, or you can use it as a second screen for, I don't know, Discord or whatever you like. Now, the caveat to this is the plug or the connector for it is called an EDP connector. And there are not very many motherboards that have this. There's only a select few with ASRock that have it. But it's kind of a cool concept for sure. Unless you have a PC that you just spent a lot of money on that looks all fancy with RGB, and then you decide to cover it up with a screen.
Or you can't see your computer anyway, and
that's true,
behind and useless.
Okay, so where I could see this as being useful is if you have limited desk space.
Yeah. Like if you're somebody who wants your computer off the ground, so you use your desk to get it off the ground. Like, do you have your PC up on your desk?
I have it here. I don't know if this can turn without wrecking everything. I have mine right here.
So it could work for you. Kind of.
So it's right over here.
Right. Yeah. So you could use that. You're like a prime candidate for this.
But I've got my laptop right here. So
just get rid of your laptop and get that screen. So does your motherboard support that EDPA, whatever it's called?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a a whole bunch of models of ASRock motherboards. Now, I don't know why this couldn't be somehow converted, or a new model that comes out that plugs into a display port in your GPU.
Right.
Like a little cable you sneak out and just plug it into the display port at the back.
If you had to, yeah.
If you had to, because that would be a cool little option as well. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just a neat feature if you need that and you're limited. So we'll see if this kind of technology takes off.
So you're saying is that ASRock, this is built into the case?
No, you buy the screen. It looks like this. It's a 13.3 inch IPS case.
Okay.
Or sorry, screen. And but it has that special EDP connector, which is only available, it looks like, on a few motherboards. So
okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a valid option if you got it. But I wouldn't expect it to sell like crazy.
No, it's pretty novelty, I guess you'd call it, for sure.
Yeah. But are you gonna get one?
No, it's not for me. It's not for me. But I could see how it would be useful for some people.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have an Xbox, you probably don't care about this, but Microsoft is losing up to $200 on every Xbox console sold.
Wow.
And I've heard about this before, where consoles get released and they release them. It's a common thing where they're released and they're losing money on them right away. I'm just reading Yoshi's comment.
Yeah. About the last article.
Okay, let's step back.
Bring it up.
But if my case is on my desk, it'll be loud and close to my mic, so I'm probably not the target audience. And that's a good point. So Yoshi, you'll have to start using RTX voice.
Yeah. Just a natural solution.
Okay. We're gonna have to restart what we just started again, because now I want to talk about this again.
Go ahead.
What if you just put your case right in front of you and that's the only screen you use?
It's a laptop at that point. It's an all-in-one.
You just take your whole case to the coffee shop, poof, on the counter.
I've seen that before, by the way.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
I've seen that. Yeah. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, we should carry on.
All right. Well, back on Xbox. Oh gosh. Galaxy brain. Okay. I should stop making fun of me there, Yoshi. Otherwise you're gonna get your Twitter checkmark
removed.
Your YouTube checkmark removed for not paying us $8.
Yeah.
All right. That's another topic.
We're not going to go there.
We're not going there today. Anyway, so the Xbox, yes, they're losing up to $200 per console, which is actually quite a bit. And this is a common thing that has happened in the console gaming, where they're released, they expect to make money back on games, on subscriptions, on different accessories. So they're saying up to $200. So they believe, this is not confirmed, but it's could be $200 on the cost on the Series X could be $399, making it $699, $499, making it $699, and $399 is what they sell the Series X for. And
they sell for $299.
No, I've got that backwards. Yeah. So, I don't know, because apparently PlayStation is not losing money on theirs anymore, on the new PS5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah, they're not losing money any longer, which is interesting that Microsoft is still losing money. And apparently, like, Nintendo typically doesn't lose money on their consoles.
Typically doesn't.
Yeah. So that's all. I mean, that's a pretty big investment by them to get you in the door, but then the amount of games that they might sell over time is huge. So
Yeah, and I'm curious to know how this compares to the losses that Sony was making when they first sold the PS3, because that
Mhm.
may have actually been a similar amount of losses, or even I'm wondering if Sony even lost even more money at that time on that console.
Mhm.
So this isn't new. Um,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm really distracted, Stephen, because I just found you a Christmas present.
What, the Grinch sweater?
The Grinch. Do you want the
Yeah.
puppy or the Grinch?
I'll take the Grinch, thank you.
You'll take the Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
I shouldn't be Christmas shopping while we're doing this live stream. For those of you on the podcast, there's an ad on the side that has a hoodie with the Grinch on it. The whole hoodie's the Grinch and a puppy.
Yeah.
So
Are you saying that I'm Grinchy? Are you insinuating
no,
something?
no, I'm not. But
Steven, I found
that's
you a
why
Christmas gift.
I didn't mean that at all. I just thought it was like kind of funny.
No, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. You were saying?
Yeah, I don't think this is anything new for console launches. They do need to make their money back. Now they have what's it called? Microsoft Play something. I can't remember the name what they call it.
Yeah, the oh gosh, the
Game Pass.
Game Pass, yes.
So if they can make their money back on the Game Pass, and of course sales, controller sales, that kind of stuff. But if somebody just buys the Xbox and they buy like a single game and don't do anything else, Microsoft lost money on them.
But that all being said, PlayStation just raised their price everywhere, basically in the world except the US, I think. So
they did.
Yeah, so that's interesting as well.
Yeah, I do recall. What's that?
Yoshi wants a hoodie as well, apparently. And he said he wasn't making fun of me. It was a compliment.
Yay!
Yay! Hey, welcome, Thomas. You're supposed to be in school.
Yeah, learning.
But he's learning about tech.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So, kind of interesting. Anyway,
I just wanted to add that Gabe Newell, who's one of the lead guys at the sun's kind of bright. It's making me kind of anyway. I've kind of
I was wondering why you turned on the lights in your office.
Yeah. Anyways, I was thinking of Gabe Newell, who was talking about the Steam Deck from Valve.
Yep.
He was one of the lead guys over there, and saying, I think I may remember him saying that it hurt to get the pricing for the Steam Deck because they like, I have doubts that they might be losing money on it. But yeah, even he was saying with that launch, it hurt them. Like I think they're happy with where it's at, but it wasn't an easy thing to get the pricing down for that hardware launch for their Steam Deck. So
yeah,
cool.
I'm getting a spam call right now. So
hey,
either that or it's Thomas's teacher wondering why he's not in class.
He's learning. It's fine.
Yeah, he's learning. All right, so let's jump into the last one. This one's kind of fun.
Hey,
I like this one. It's a soft note.
Okay, and I saw this article first before Ken, and I thought, I'm not talking about this unless he notices it. And it was like 5 minutes later. He's like, hey, let's talk about this. So,
well, the last thing we talk about, we like to have something kind of like lighthearted like this. That's kind of funny, like delivery robots or different things like that. Drones. I don't know. Beavers that eat the internet. And so this one is the McDonald's McCrispy gaming chair that you can win over in the UK. So sorry for all of you North American people. But it's the McCrispy gaming chair that has a French fry holder that I believe keeps it warm, or a McCrispy. It keeps your McCrispy warm. It's got a little hot box and a French fry holder. And you can win this.
You know what's bad looking at the picture? So we'll have to describe it to those in the podcast. But right now, I'm getting like the smell of like McDonald's right now just looking at this thing, and I'm kind of pleased and disturbed. Yoshi calls it a mustard chair.
A mustard chair. Well, I actually kind of like the colors of it. Thomas, the KFC console. Yes,
It would go great with it.
it would go great with the KFC console.
So how would you
the mustard chair?
How would you describe it to those listening on podcast? This chair.
So it looks like a black gaming chair with a big orange stripe down the middle that says McCrispy on it, with a McDonald's pillow, and then 2 tables on the side to hold your burgers and fries.
And do you like the wheels, the touch of yellow on the wheels at the bottom?
I do like that part, yeah.
I kind of do
now,
too, actually.
So in the article here, it wonders how the warming tray works. Do you plug in the chair? Nobody knows. Or does it run off batteries?
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
It's a cool gaming chair. But the article also talks about some of the other themed stuff that was a fail in the past. So the KFC console, which Thomas just brought up there, Kentucky Fried Chicken PC gaming console, and then there was where did they go? There was the Wendy's themed Super Smash Bros. Level, the Sneak King on the Xbox 360, so a game.
That's what came to my mind, yeah.
And then the Gigabyte inflatable recliner. The Oris recliner inflatable. So what would you rather have, the Oris one or the McDonald's one?
I kind of like the McDonald's one.
It's actually a real chair that's functional.
And I don't like it, but I also kind of do like it. I'm conflicted on the McDonald's chair.
The chair is McNugget orange, so
I feel like that chair is like what managers at McDonald's sit in. That's what I feel like. You're gonna walk in the back office and that's what they use.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we do have a question of the day regarding this.
Yeah.
The question of the day is, would you buy the McCrispy chair for $25? Now, I'm sure it's worth a lot more than that. Apparently, they only made like 3 or 4 of them, one to give away and the other one to give out to, like, I don't know, sponsors or affiliates or something. But if you could buy one for $25, it's probably, my guess is a $300-$400 chair. Would you buy it? Like, but you have to use it.
Yeah, not to resell and make money. I'm so conflicted on that. I want to say yes, but at the same time, I'm like, do I want people to see me using that chair? Not really. Do I want, like, I mean, it does, if it does warm stuff, could it keep my coffee warm? Could I convert it to be
like, so for $25, but you have to have it in the chair you're sitting at right now.
Like, I can imagine myself right now having a coffee and my warmed, like, hot cakes, like the McDonald's pancakes, hot cakes.
I don't think the pancakes are available in the US.
Okay, well, they're in Canada.
I think that's a Canadian thing.
It's a good option. And if I could have Canadian breakfast hot cakes in the McGriddle warmer, whatever it's called, and I can have my coffee. Oh, Thomas, you're not allowed to answer this question.
I would use it loud and proud. Yes, Thomas would love this chair.
Of course you would, if you fit in it.
The amount of McDonald's I made him throw out yesterday was he had wrappers. He went for McDonald's yesterday, so
they should have included this with the Monopoly. It should have been one of the Monopoly prizes with McDonald's.
So would I want this for $25? Do I have to use it 100% of the time?
I would say 50% of the time.
Then yes, I'll buy it.
Okay.
Because I'd use it for this show.
That's fair. At the end of the day, I think I'd say no. I just don't think I can do it. If I had to use it, it'd be fine. But it
looks comfortable.
Yeah,
I will say that. So
you just look like a really big, like, I don't know. You just feel like you've lowered your standards by using it somehow. Anyway, that's not a slant on McDonald's. It's not an insult. It's just, yeah.
No. All right. So what happens, Stephen, when we hit 100 subscribers here on YouTube?
Yeah, so at 100 subscribers here on YouTube, we are looking to upgrade our lowly 720p streaming feed to a full HD 1080p streaming feed. So if you would like to support us that way and just like subscribe here on YouTube, that's fine. Because at 100 subscribers, we're looking to do that. And as we grow, kind of help get things better and better with time. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Any other comments on today on our topics?
Yeah, anything from the peanut gallery went out there? Any last thoughts? Any last thoughts from you, Ken? Anything before we head out? Anything that's
not so much, other than I'm excited to see what that ARC is going to be like when I get it, the ARC A770. Right. So we'll see what that's like, and yeah, we'll probably be talking about that more coming up. So I guess nobody's commenting, so we'll keep going here. And yeah, if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter. If you,
that's right.
Oh man, if you pay $8, just don't follow us if you don't. And that's why I'm laughing. Oh man.
Oh, Yoshi wants to know about the sushi coin. Have you checked sushi coin?
Oh, the sushi coin. We'll have to give a sushi update next time because it'll take me too long to find on my phone. I forgot to look today. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe, and you can also listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Helps you put you to sleep at night. So thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.